So you must get tired of answering this question, President Kagame, because the question is always a variation of the same one, which is, how the hell did you do it? Rwanda is now, in terms of the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index, 29 out of 190. That is 10 points higher than Japan. So I think that the real question people would have is, what were the most difficult challenges in creating the kind of environment that allows the private sector to flourish? What are the obstacles and how did you overcome them?
Thank you, Farid. I will try to say it in a few words. First, we tried to do it because there were no alternatives for us. We had to do it because looking back in time for our country, we sank so low that there was no lower point to go. The only way to go was up, and up we tried to go. So the first thing we had to deal with was the mindset of our people, because there is a history where people were used to sitting back and things being offered to them for free from abroad or for whatever, things done for everyone. So we had to find ways of making sure that the Rwandans understand that they have to be there for themselves. And that goes for other Africans, I'm sure. We have to do our part. Even if we get assistance, we use it to make sure that we strengthen ourselves, our base, and then build on that. And at the same time, we had to look for ways of doing things differently from what people were used to. And in actual fact, it was not therefore just politics. We got used to politics of, saying the right things and doing very little about that. So we, therefore, in the change of mindset, our people are made to say, one, development is something we must do. Prosperity is something we must achieve. So how do we get there? We have to create that vision of how we move forward. It starts with the people, ourselves, and we say the Rwandans starts with us. How much have we done? How much have we invested in ourselves for skills, for knowledge? And how much time do we take to do things that we know we must do and not wait for anybody else to come and do it? Then doing business that Farid, you mentioned, was identified immediately as, if you have knowledge, if you have invested in skills, if you are investing in infrastructure, what do you do with that? What follows is really business. It's doing business. It's entrepreneurship. It's people's creativity and innovation that has to be put into play. At the same time, that would not happen unless and until you invest in a conducive, good governance environment that will allow what needs to happen to take place. So that's how we tried to do it. And we were under pressure because of where we are coming from. And we had to convince ourselves that, one, we can do it, two, that there is no other alternative, and everybody rallied and we started doing our bit, and that's how we have made good progress.
Let me ask you, I once asked Lee Kuan Yew, the founder of Singapore, what he thought his most important legacy legacy was going to be. And he said, the accomplishments that I was able to bring a nation together. Singapore, you remember, is a small island made up of Malays and Chinese and Indians. So first was to make a nation, then was to create an economic model, but the final one, he said, was to create political institutions that would outlast him. And so my question to you is, will you be able to achieve that third legacy of Lee Kuan Yew?
There is no question about it, because if you've done everything else that you are supposed to do, and the remaining problem is you, it's much easier to deal with that. So, if we do everything else right and we've set the stage, I don't see how one person, me, becomes the problem. In any case, even if you became the problem or wanted to become the problem, you are soon reminded that everyone has only such a time to live, and one way or the other. So I don't think that's going to be, and therefore the legacy for me is not me. The legacy is that you leave behind indeed. So if we have managed, say, to change the mindsets of our people, to know what they stand for, what they need to do, what they have in themselves, and we have united our country. In fact, it is a similar problem, because our country was torn apart by divisive politics. We have now brought the country back together, and also set the country on the path to development, which we are achieving. So if this is going, and it's going because of the people, because of the institutions, because of the policies we have tried to put in place, we are educating our people, we are investing in their health, and these people, the Rwandans, working together with the knowledge, with the skills, with aspirations they have for themselves, I think that is the main legacy, and for me it will be just a personal story, and it will be passing like other things pass.